Do your kids have Twitter? Well, parents, look at that logo on the left and take a look at their phone. We're going to walk you through what is Twitter. What are we covering in this video? Well, we're going to tell you what Twitter says about themselves, how Twitter works, what parents should know, what kids post on Twitter, how Twitter can get you fired, what parents can do, and how to stay updated without notifying your kids that you're following them. What is Twitter? Well, this is what Twitter says about themselves. You can see what's happening in your world. You can stay informed and get news as it breaks. You can go behind the scenes at big events from anywhere. And you can keep up with everything you care about, from sports to politics to TV. So what is Twitter? Well, it's one of the most popular social networks that teens are using. Teens are using Twitter more than Facebook these days, it seems. 1/3 of all teens in the US have a Twitter account. Twitter users can send public messages up to 140 characters in length, so just shorter than a text message. They can include photos, videos, and links to websites. Tweets can be sent via their app on the phone or their website at twitter.com. And tweets are visible to anyone, unless your account is set to private, which few are. Now, when other users retweet your message, it can go far beyond your group of followers, because tweets can then be deleted, but some types of retweets won't be removed from others' profiles, and that's really important to note. Now, how can I search on Twitter? Well, good question. It's easy to find tweets by looking at hashtags, as well as keywords, location, user, or other criteria. All you have to do is go to search.twitter.com and you'll see the screen on the right. And you can start searching for anything. Many kids think that you just can search for hashtags, but really you can search for just about anything. It's a little bit different than Instagram. So what do kids think of Twitter? Well, kids want to get as many followers as possible. They also believe it's a safe place to share their thoughts, feelings, and personal life away from their parents, because parents aren't on this network as much. Kids use hashtags, which is using the # directly before a word, to get discovered, but they don't realize that every word in their tweet is searchable by colleges and employers. It doesn't take a hashtag to get searched. Teens sometimes think it's okay to bully other people and include their @username, although it happens a lot less here. Now, Twitter's tips for families, this is directly from their corporate website. It tells families, parents, and kids, please understand Twitter. Remember that Twitter is a public space. Protect your passwords. Use online safety to connect with your child. Keep a healthy life balance. Encourage critical thinking. Think before tweeting. And last, block and ignore anything that's negative. And they're really trying to have parents and teachers and kids clean up the network. They can't be everywhere. Now, what are kids posting? Let me show you some real examples. When your boy gets sent out of class, you laugh, but then the teacher tells you to go too. So kids are getting in trouble. When the person next to you reminds the teacher about the homework. Somebody smoking. My parents are in Idaho and I am not. Finally back from school. I'm at school alone. I bet the person that created school was Satan. Getting my life together and buying textbooks because school starts tomorrow. Yay. Some of these things are not going to look good to colleges someday, and that's what we're really trying to portray to you parents. Your kids are writing a resume right now using Twitter. Next, I've been away for her for 10 minutes and already missing her like crazy. I love you, baby. Can't wait to see you soon. You never know how drunk you were at a party until you see your pics the next day. And when your teacher thinks you aren't listening and asks you a question and then you realize you're in school. Once again, kids are showing what they're doing at school, and maybe it's not the best for colleges to see. Now, how are kids using Twitter? Well, they're tweeting when they're bored at school. They're trying to collect retweets and favorites by posting silly messages, jokes, photos, and videos. Kids follow their favorite celebrities and retweet their harmless messages, and they share school news and sometimes some rumors. Teens are using hashtags to tell a funny and ironic story in their tweets. Now, here's how Twitter can get you fired. This is story number 1 from Fox Studios. A young woman used her Twitter profile to announce a spoiler information before a new TV show episodes were aired, and she was one of the actresses on the show. Her producer/boss responded quickly, I hope you're qualified to do something besides work in entertainment. Since then, this woman has not been back on the TV show Glee, and it's very difficult for her to get a job in entertainment. She had her one big break, and because she thought she would be smart and funny about releasing company secrets, she's pretty much done with the entertainment career that she always wanted. Okay, story number 2. This is from Cisco. A young woman was offered a job at Cisco after receiving an amazing offer, quite frankly. She tweeted this immediately. "Cisco just offered me a job. Now I have to weigh the fatty paycheck against the daily commute and hating the work." Now, one of their employees saw this and they immediately replied. They said, "Who's the hiring manager? I'm sure they would love to know that you will hate the work. We here at Cisco are versed in the web." This whole communication took place over Twitter. And the moral of the story here is that if you accept something, if you post anything negative on Twitter, companies are looking. They're listening to the correct and incorrect spelling of their name because they have to do customer service. And that's what this Cisco employee was doing. And this woman does not work at Cisco, and now this example is used all over the web. Now, why should parents care? Well, tweets are visible to everyone. Kids are using direct messages to talk privately to each other. Anyone can contact your kid, and teens are using Twitter to sometimes bully other kids by tagging their @names. Kids sometimes post much of their personal information because their parents are not there. What can parents do? Well, add your kid to a list on Twitter, which we're going to show you in a moment, to quickly read their tweets without following them directly or openly. And here's another note. What if I told you that you could read the tweets of your son and all of your son's friends by going to one little list? Rather than checking all their profiles and scrolling back, you could save a lot of time. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Don't reply or favorite your kids' tweets unless you have a really unique relationship where they want you to do that. Simply look at them, and then you can talk about that later. Check their tweets to know what's going on in their lives, and you can talk to them about in real life, maybe around the dinner table. Suggest to set your kids' page as private if they're if they're in the tween world between 8 to 12, make sure they're set as private. And then explain to your kids that if they don't want you, their parent, to see certain messages or photos, maybe they shouldn't be posted at all on Twitter. Next, how to create your list. And once again, the reason we're doing this is because you want to save time and you want to keep updated on with what your kids and also your kids' friends are doing. Step 1, log into Twitter. You can make a free account, and instead of following your kids, go to your front page and click on More and then Lists. Now, it'll open up something new that says, do you want to create a list? Yeah, click Create a New List, and this is where you can name the list. Now, you see the word family there. If you had a son named Billy, I might even suggest to you to name that Billy and Friends. And the reason for that is we're going to put Billy and his friends in this list so that when we click on it, we can see all the conversations they're having publicly without going to different profiles. Click, and then notice how on the bottom left it's private. Only you can access this list, and then save the list. Next, you can start typing in names to find people to add to that list. That's step 4. Click the search box, and you'll notice a bunch of people pop up. You put your kid's name or your @ in there, or you can go straight to your kid's Twitter page, their profile, and you're going to click that little tiny box right there, that little tiny gear, and say Add or Remove from Lists. And you can add them. You notice we have 2 families and a university, but I would put Billy and Friends. And then if you have a daughter named Sally, you could have another list, Sally and Friends. And you can go around and see who Billy's talking to a lot and add those people into a list. Now, this assumes that they're public. You'd have to follow them if they're private and get permission to see their tweets, but we're making the assumption that they're public. Next, now you can see that the family list has 1 member. You could add 10 members in there and really just keep track of what's going on in one kid's life. And then when you click on the list that you're subscribed to, as we did with family here, you can see who's writing what and how things are going. You see a whole conversation right there, what they're retweeting, what they're posting, and so on. And really the goal of this is to save time because you've got a lot going on as a parent or a teacher. Okay, parents, what can you do? Well, first of all, remind your kids to keep each post light, bright, and polite. And you know why? It's not just for their safety. It's because colleges are watching, and they're starting to write their resume right now. Each tweet is beginning their little yellow brick road, each little brick that they're laying, and colleges are watching. You can learn more at safesmartsocial.com, where we train thousands of kids each year in assemblies and our online club on how to be safe and smart on social media so that they can shine online and look incredible to colleges and employers. Here's your next steps. Click here, number 1, to request a social media safety speech at your kid's school. Or number 2, click there if you want to join our online safety club to ask questions and learn about how we can help your kid shine online. I'm Josh Oakes. I'm so honored that you're watching this video called What is Twitter? I hope you'll join us on some of our next videos and visit safesmartsocial.com so that we can share with you some of our online safety tips. As always, keep it light, bright, and polite. Have a great day.